Indian movie watchers, please gather here. Did you know that Diwali, I'm sure you've heard about Diwali festivals in Indian movies, marks the new year for Jains, the followers of an ancient Indian religion called Jainism? Well, it's not only Jains that actually celebrate Diwali. Hindus, which also have similarities with Jainism, also celebrate Diwali, but that's not the point. Did you also know that this religion has monks that carry hand brooms around so they can sweep insects away from the road so they don't step on them, and also don't eat root crops like potatoes, onions, because they believe tiny organisms are killed when these crops are harvested? Wow. Well, this and more are the beliefs of this interesting ancient religion called Jainism. But today, I'll just be telling you about one of its prophets, or as they call it, Tirthankars. Namaste, people of this weird planet called Earth. Welcome to episode 37 of History's Most Influential Humans podcast with yours truly, Damilare Mapa. Today's influential human has a lot of attachments to the religion Jainism, and honestly, one episode isn't enough to describe this religion, so I'm just going to be talking about its history, which is a little bit, and why it was so important to this ancient religion. Born in the 6th century, 599 BC to be precise, Mahavira, meaning great hero, turned out to be by far the greatest figure in the ancient Indian religion of Jainism that have 5 vows, which must be strictly adhered to in order to attain moksha, divine liberation. These vows are, number 1, ahimsa, non-violence, which is like extremely strict in this religion, to the extent where you shouldn't harm microscopic life. Thus, those who practice this religion are strict vegetarians. Number 2, satya, truthfulness or strict prevention from lying. Number 3, asteya, non-stealing or cheating. Number 4, brahmacharya, chastity or celibacy. Yeah, their monks and nuns actually don't get married because they mustn't be attached to anyone or anything. And number 5, aparigraha, non-attachment to worldly possessions, which are adhered strictly. Some of their monks even go as far as not wearing clothes because it's also a worldly possession. Sorry to any Indian that listens to it, this about my pronunciation. I'm very sorry. There are so much more about this religion you might find interesting, but I'll leave you to do that research yourself. Back to our influential human, Mahavira. He was born into a royal family in ancient India as the 3rd child, his father's name being King Siddhartha and his mother's name Trishala, who was said to have had 14 divine dreams of how a 3rd child would be extremely great when he was going to be born. Mahavira lived as a prince till he clocked 30 years of age, when he left home in pursuit of spiritual awakening, turning into a Jain monk, although he had bigger plans, which later made him extremely influential. He practiced intense meditation, self-discipline, and extremely strict adherence to the Jain beliefs for a whole 12 and a half years after he left his life as a prince to follow his divine calling. Wow. After this strict 12 and a half years, he was said to have attained Kevala Jnana, omniscience in English, the state of knowing everything, which obviously is a very bold insinuation. Oh well. He was said to have preached for 30 more years and attained moksha, divine liberation we're talking about in Jainism. These acts of his made him the 24th and last Jain Tirthankara, supreme preacher, which I would say is like what you'd call a prophet of their religion. His 30-year preachings, life, and beliefs is said to have amassed millions of followers to the Jain religion in India during his time. Today, statues of him are seen in different temples in India, although not to be worshipped, but to be admired by Jains to strive to attain divine liberation in this life, or according to them, in their next life. Mahavira, after his 30-year preachings, died in 527 BC, aged 72. And it is said that his jiva, which is soul, is believed to abide in Siddhashila, the home of liberated souls. Well, that would be all on today's episode of HMIH Podcast Farm. I hope you at least learned something new on today's episode. I wish you an amazing month ahead. Happy birthday to my home country, Nigeria. I'll see you all hopefully in my birth month, November. Damla Rimapa, out.